Hello, everyone. I hope you're having an awesome time at RETCON so far. Our next talk will be by Pike. She's the CEO and founder of IOTAS. Please join me in welcoming her to our virtual stage.
Hi, everybody. As Patricia mentioned, I'm Pike. I'm with IOTAS. IOTAS has been around since 2014. We have been working on IoT as a service for the multifamily home industry. And really at the heart of what we do fleet management of IoT devices into multifamily, working alongside many of you out in the audience, owners as well as operators and developers. And so what I'm really here to talk about today is, boy, it's been a long year. We're almost at the end of it. And it has changed a lot since we started this year. So since the beginning of this year, there was a lot of momentum around what does multifamily look like in the future? What is going to entice the new generations to move in, and also for great residents to stay put as well. And IoT was at the top of that conversation: smart homes, smart properties, smart buildings, smart cities. And since COVID happened, it has accelerated that conversation more so than I think any other event could have happened. And so in our past, we were watching a great acceleration of adoption of smart apartments, but more so now than ever. And one of the things that we've seen is this incredible momentum around returns on investment around smart technology. So for example, one of the things that we think is critical to looking at smart home technology and smart property technology is what kind of benefits that you get out of it from a resident perspective, as well as from the property management perspective. And I think the results are amazing. I think that what we're seeing beyond the baseline or around ROI is that we're seeing 3 to 10% rent premiums. And I think that really depends on what is installed. So if you're putting in baseline equipment like locks, thermostats, access entry, things that are more operationally focused, you're going to maybe see a 3% return on that or 0% rent premium. However, if you're putting in more devices that really enhances the resident experience, then we're seeing that a lot of our customers who are, anywhere from A class to B class, both in urban and suburban markets, but particularly the B plus, A minus in the suburban markets, slightly out of the denser areas, are seeing 10% premium rent increases. We're also seeing, and we have a wealth of data now, that residents who are actively using their IoT devices or their smart home devices more are spending at least on average 2 to 3 months longer in those properties. So there we are seeing a gain in retention when you have active, engaged smart home users. And on labor side, from all the automations that we're doing, especially during coronavirus when some of our customers cannot get into managing their buildings or operating it at the scale that they would typically operate it, we saw annual labor savings of $5,000, energy savings of $4,000, and leak incidents that we prevented of $11,000 or more. A lot of them are more per leaks that were avoided. So one of the critical things we're also seeing is just a reduction in unit terms, and the savings around that are about $30,000. So for us, one of the things that we saw during this year was just this huge boost in ROI for our customers who are owners or developers, operators. And so fundamentally, now that residents and multifamily owners have gotten kind of the taste of what smart homes and smart properties can do, I think there's true power and value in showing the automation that's available now, and there's no turning back. I think really we're past this precipice of like, should we do this or should we not do this? I think everybody's at a point of like, we're gonna do this, we need to understand how. And I think what we're seeing is that from our perspective, we like to come about it as a true partner. and really look at this from a holistic perspective, not just the IoT devices, but from connectivity. So having site-wide, always on connectivity on the internet side so that these devices run smoothly, as well as having what we would consider a playbook so that you don't only just think about it for one property, because you wouldn't install like Salesforce in one property and some other sort of solution in a different property and to have different PMS in different properties. You want to have consistency so that you can make this repeatable and scalable and create that efficiency of an economy of scale. So I think there should be options for different types of properties, but one of the things that we always look at is how can we give you a playbook of something that you can roll out across all of your portfolio and make this, again, repeatable, scalable, and get that economy of scale as well. So really, in the future, this is not a nice to have luxury. It's now an imperative. And what we're looking at is how do you look at this holistically from connectivity, IoT, and also the artificial intelligence trends that we see in the industry as well. And what are those things that are really increasing the revenue for any sort of property, whether it's NOI because of the connectivity plus IoT, or if it's labor efficiencies as well. So that's kind of my talk. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm happy to take any questions and answer as many questions as I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Say. This was a great talk with a lot of awesome insights. A big virtual round of applause for you.
Thank you.
All right, if you're headed for your next session, go ahead and check out your agenda to see where you're going next, or take some time to connect with your peers with some virtual one-on-one networking. Thanks so much, and we'll see you around.